Hello, everyone. This is Aisha Harley. Welcome to our Essential Wellness Mastering the Basics course. This is a 6-week program to help propel your business to the next level and to teach you the foundational skills on how to build your business. We are really excited. Dr. Josie and Haley and myself will all be facilitating this group. And I know that some of us know each other, some of us are new, some of us literally enrolled a few days ago. So we have people that have been around for a while and some people that are just joining our community. So I want to start off by just taking a moment and letting our presenters and facilitators taking a moment to introduce themselves. So Dr. Josie, will you take just a moment to introduce yourselves and tell everyone a little bit about you?
All right, thank you. I'm Dr. Schmidt, naturopathic physician, and I have been working for a little over 5 years, 5.5 years, doTERRA with Aisha, with our essential wellness community, helping to build that. And I'm a yoga teacher. I have been in the past as well, and I bring and I work with gems and jewelry and energetic sense. And so a lot of that I brought forward into how I've worked with and built my teams, Diamond, Terra. And so, and I think I made Diamond rank about in my third year, about 3.5 years. And so a lot of this training, I'm very excited because we are really in the place with our teams to help people really learn this quick and effectively and efficiently and those people who want to step on the gas and learn this business the way Aisha and I have built our businesses, and then gaining some incredible training as well. And so that's what we're here to do, and to help other people and leaders who are ready to really step on the gas and go to the next level too. That said, I don't think this training is anything new. We're just revising and refining. And I'm so excited to be working with Aisha and with now Haley. Haley, let's have Haley introduce herself. She is incredible. And she is bringing a lot of talent to this kind of a training with the way I love how she interacts and works with us with scripting. And there's just a lot that I know she can teach all of us. So Haley, I'm going to hand it over to you now.
Thanks, Joe. Well, I'm super excited to be with all of you. I am living in California on the Central Coast, and we, the three of us, thought that we could bring some incredible value to everyone creating this training. And like Josie said, it's nothing new, but we've just reformatted it, made it very simple. My background is in psychology, actually, and I found doTERRA about 2.5 years ago, and I love it. So I'm really passionate about sharing what I everybody else, and I can't wait to dive in and help you guys with this. So I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. And it looks like, Haley, you're on the road.
I'm the passenger though, so nobody panic.
Perfect. Will you, while you're not speaking, just mute your phone on your end so we can avoid the background noise from the car?
Yes.
Okay, so I said this before, but for the sake of the recording, I'm going to review it again. I just want to go over a few of the logistics, and then Haley is going to go over more about the course. And first of all, a little bit about, for those of you that I don't know, I am in Portland, Oregon. I live here with my husband, Larry, who is on the call, my 2 dogs, my 2 parrots, and my 7 chickens. And I am your upline Blue Diamond. I have been doing doTERRA for 6 years. I absolutely love this company. I love this oil. And most of all, I love the community that we have created in this time and the passion that we can all bring together into changing lives and making a difference in so many different ways. So again, just thank you for being here. We have created a Facebook page called Essential Wellness Mastering the Basics, and I believe you are all added to it. This is a page where we are going to have, we're going to post the information for the calls. We will post the call recordings, and we will have some homework that we'll ask you to post on this page. So even if you are not on Facebook a lot, please make a point to check into the page so you can stay up to date with everything that is going on. If you are unable to join these calls live, which we really hope that you all make an effort to, but we know sometimes things happen, the recordings will be posted later on the day on Wednesday, and I will make a doc and I will post all the recordings there so you will be able to find them. We also have a pinned post at the top of the page. And we've asked everybody to introduce themselves because not everybody in this group knows each other. And we would love for you to get to know each other. It's wonderful to connect with your cross-line family and find other people doing this business for support. And many of us will be at convention this year. So it'd be lovely for as many of you as possible to connect at convention and meet one another in, live. So if you've not told us, we're just asking to tell us where you're from and just something fun, wacky about yourself. So if you've not responded to that thread yet, we'd love to hear from all of you. So I think those are the particulars that I'm going to cover right now. So I'm going to hand it over to Haley, and she's going to give you an overview of our 6 weeks. Okay, Haley, take it away.
Perfect. Thank you, Aisha. So what our plan is over the next 6 weeks so that you kind of have an idea of how this will in terms of duplication teams is typically we're committing 1.5 hours each week except for the 5th week. But for this group only, we've made an exception to kind of get your class in there week 3. If it feels a little bit different for you, that's what we'll give you an agenda that looks standard so that you can duplicate that with your teams. So basically what we're going to go over is mastering just basics. And new, or if you're seasoned and been doing this forever, some of this might feel like review for you, but I want you to be open to just having the standard so that you can teach it to teams, because if it's not duplicating past, it's not working. So my goal here is to teach you with Aisha and Josie how to duplicate the business, understand your business and how to teach teams about that and teach it to other people. So what we cover in week 1, which is today, is just the basics, how to share oils with other people. Because what happens when you're brand new, just enrolled, maybe I heard Aisha say some of you have just enrolled even yesterday or a couple days ago, or maybe you've been enrolled forever, you're excited to share with people, but you don't really have the script. So it feels uncomfortable. So we want to make sure that you're comfortable getting outside your comfort zone and have some tools that you can use to share this with people. So we're going to talk about that today, and we're going to be interactive, like Aisha said. There's going to be some role play. I'm going to call on some people, throw you out there, so get ready for that. And then next week, we actually cover how to do a one-on-one and exactly how to do that when you're doing that with somebody. And then for this, like I said, specifically just this group, week 3, we're going to cover how to teach the raddest class of your life. Just ready for that one. And that will actually be a commitment of 3 hours. So we'll need you to plan for that in week 3. And we'll post that in the group for you guys. And then we're going to talk about how to do a wish list and follow-up event. Some of us call it a membership overview or a wellness consultation. And then we'll tell you guys how to share the business opportunity with people and do a business overview. And then at the very end, we're actually going to teach you guys, and some of you have heard of Tiffany Peterson. We are going to share what her 5 gates are. And the purpose of that is to help you have a baseline for how to work with people, how to ask good questions. If you ever feel stuck when you're having a company and you don't know where to go with it, we'll give you some really basic questions that are just universal to help you work with people in those spaces. So did everybody do their homework? I'm going to have to review the homework with you guys real quick before we jump in. So I'm hoping that you brought your hundreds names list. and that you've scheduled some classes, according to Josie and Aisha. Is that right, Aisha? Okay. So, do you want to tell us how they got to the 100 names list and how to use that?
Absolutely. So one of the requirements to be entered into this program was to create your 100 names list. And this list is really almost a brain dump of everybody that you know. We don't like you in the beginning to think too much about whether they would or they wouldn't want the oils. It's just, who do you know, who in your life could use natural medicine? And the tip that we're going to bring to you is that we want to take your names list to another level. So earlier this year, a group of us went to study with one of the leading leaders in doTERRA. Her name is Elise Sedavi. And a lot of actually what we're bringing to you in this training are tips that we learned from her. She is the #1 wellness advocate as far as rank in doTERRA. She's a triple diamond, works towards triple presidential diamond. I have no doubt that she'll be there soon. And she is a stellar example of what is possible in this business. She actually bought her own hotel in Prague that she hosted us at, and it was an incredibly valuable business training. So the information that I'm bringing to you is actually directly from her. And she, along with some other doTERRA leaders, came together and they did a survey and really found what are the common characteristics of diamond leaders in our company. And the reason we want to know this is because as you create your list and you're out looking for people, one of the first things we want to do in our business is start to identify who are our business builders and who might want to do this business with us, and who might I want to talk to about the business. So we want you to then begin to rate your names list into our 7 characteristics of a diamond. And I ask that you write these down, but I'm also going to post these on the Facebook page after this call, so you will also have it as a reference. So I'm going to go over these, and these are the characteristics. This is the profile of the majority of diamond and aboves in our company. So this is kind of what you're looking for and how you want to dial in your list. So here we go. #1, well, guess what? They're female. I think everyone on this call, besides my husband, do we have any other men besides Larry? I don't think so, are female. So the majority of people in doTERRA that do this business and are diamonds and above are female. We love our men as well. They're not excluded, but do know the majority are female. #2, they have a money need. Most leaders in this business, if you listen to their stories, there was a drive for a money need that became part of their why and became part of their passion for doing this as a business. #3, the age falls between 35 and 45 years old. So on average, the leaders in this company fall in that age range. I know that when I started doTERRA, when I was introduced, I was 40. I am now 47. And the reason why this age is, I think, targeted is because by this age, people are typically well networked. They tend to be more passionate from a health perspective because they probably had health issues arrive. When people are younger, oftentimes they haven't experienced many health issues yet. And in general, they have just more life experience, families, careers, etc. And yet they still also have the energy and the passion to drive a business. Now, this is not to say that somebody younger or somebody older cannot be wildly successful in this business. But again, this is just the average age. In this profile, #4, people tend to be also into natural or healing medicine, tend to eat organic food, possibly into yoga, exercising, and in generally just being healthy and looking for healthy alternatives. #5, that they have done a business before. or they've already had a career, so they have, business skill set to bring into building their doTERRA business. Also that they are influential, that they have a network. This could be a community within their church, within their friends, maybe they volunteer. But, are you the person that says, there's a new restaurant in town and everybody should go try this restaurant and everyone's going to run over and try that restaurant? Or, the people that other people tend to look at for trends, for advice, etc. So people that have a sphere of influence. And then the last one, number 7, is somebody that has a supportive spouse and or partner. So what we're going to do is these are the 7 characteristics. And again, remember, this is just a profile. What we like you to do is go through your list of 100 and rate the names. And you're basically going to rate everybody between 1 and 7, and they get a point for each mark that they hit. And then we want to focus on, for your business builders, anybody that falls between a 5 and a 7 is going to be a candidate for the first people you're going to contact and or talk to about the business. So I hope that adds some clarity. We will also add some other tips on how you can rate and organize your 100 names list. We're not going to take the time to go over those details now, but we will post that on the Facebook page. So if you've just jotted down your names list, there's some ways that you can also better track it. Okay, so I'll hand it back to you, Haley.
Perfect. So the point of that, which is really awesome, thank you for walking us through it so specifically and detailed, is we want you, when you have just starting out, want to do this as a business.
Ooh, hold on. Okay, go for it, Haley.
Somebody who's brand new, who's interested in the business, that's the first home investment they give them. And so you will also give them these exact things that they can walk through and categorize 100's names list, so that now they don't just have a compiled list that is not really useful for them. So we really want to give them those tools that they can use it with. So I know that this is a 6-week training program, which is basic. But so this is a basic 6-week training program. So this is 100% just the basics. So there might be 2.0 things that come up for you, or things that are, maybe services. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is basics. This is your 6 weeks, easy to duplicate, easy to train new people, but there is also the opportunity for fast tracking your business. So if you, outside of week training, jump into a fast track program to really jumpstart your business, we have a additional program for that, which I'm going to have Josie really fast if you feel like you want to get in there faster than just the 6 weeks.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay. So we just wanted to highlight, and we have talked as the uplines who've invited you to the call. We've already made, for most people, the kind of agreement and how, whether you wanted to do a fast track or not. So that's something that you're going to do individually with your upline. I just wanted to here try and state the reason why doing a 6 weeks to elite programs, it's a little more specific, the reasoning behind that. And it's not just to do more and have more classes and go faster. The thinking, and so we really learned this again from our training with Elise Sedovy, is that it's really thinking from the end and having someone who says they want to make a certain amount of money within a certain amount of time and they want success, and they are where they are ready to be capable and committed to really building their doTERRA business, and they are ready to give about 15 hours a week to do that, then this becomes the fastest, most effective way to be successful with the business. And I'll tell you the reason why. Is that what you're doing is you are all in one fell swoop working with your most precious resource. So Elise really taught this to us, is that you've heard this saying probably before, that your network is your net worth. And it really is true. Network is within so many things, and definitely within marketing, your most precious resource, one of them. And so you don't want to squander it. So that is why I would want to do a 6 weeks tour, which is basically a program. Wow. So someone is,
Sorry.
okay. Who's that? Okay. It's basically a program where you're going through your names list, and you've identified it, the 5, 6, and 7s, and they're at the top from that list that Aisha just gave of the diamond. You're looking for your builders, and you're trying to flesh out within your entire network 1 or 2 people who are going to want to join you as partners in this business. And so what you're trying to do is not go about haphazardly about finding them. You're trying to be very methodical and specific about finding them. So we're going to go over inviting and sampling in the best way possible. We call it active inviting and sampling, and one-on-ones. But the idea with the 6 weeks to elite is that you're doing it in a big push through your entire names list. And then for about a 1.5 to 2 week period, inviting the way Elise prescribes it. And then you're going to have 4 classes 1 week. That because you're going to basically be invited on to that 1 week. And so usually everyone can make one of those times. It's really about that. It's like saying, oh, which class can you come to? And so you're doing this whole flush of classes in 1 whole week of most of these top level people in your network to find who might be the 1 or 2 that actually do and work with us, and trying to find them quickly so that they are positioned and ready to go. So then all the rest of the people that you're enrolling in this process go underneath them, and you to strategize and build with the best possible placement and strategy in this business going, rather than just enrolling people, having them placed not effectively. And so for people who are just starting this business, they might not understand what I'm talking about. Other people who have been doing it a little while who understand some of this means. So that's why I just want to give, it's a little bit of a higher level conversation. I don't know if Haley or Aisha, you want to come in, but that idea of doing those 4, if all possible, to be able to plan 4 classes on 1 week and do that and start to add those builders first, it sets you up for best possible success strategizing in our business plan. And that's why it's not like we're just trying to push you and do more for no reason. But if a lot of people don't feel they have that ability in their schedule or their life at this point. And so that's why more basic level, learn as you go along with this. But people who can do this and ready for it, it's going to set you up with a better strategy.
Perfect. Thanks, Dos.
Okay.
So if any of you are interested in that, I encourage you to talk to Aisha or Dos who invited you to this, and they can have the basic steps for how to get started in that fast track program for you. So what I want to help you guys with now is kind of giving you a formula for your story, because all are interested in sharing doTERRA. I'm assuming, hopefully, rightfully so, that you had a profound impact with doTERRA, or it's impacted your life or your family's life in some way, or even somebody that you love and so share it with somebody. So you have a story about that. If that story takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, it's too long. So we want to have a short, kind of like an elevator pitch, share people that gives them why you're using doTERRA, why you're sharing doTERRA, and makes them have the opportunity for them to ask and get curious about that. So I have a formula for guys. If you are taking notes, I encourage you to write this down, but we'll also post it in the group. It's called the HERO formula. And it basically is you start with the high of your story, then you move into a low, and I'll tell you what all of this means. Then you move into the turnaround, which is typically when you found doTERRA or had your experience, and then you'll move back into your high. So I have an example of story. Can you give me a story? Do you have a story, Aish?
Oh, yep. I was waiting to see if somebody else had a story for us. Well, my story is, and I won't keep it to an hour. My story was that when I found doTERRA, I was actually quite ill with Lyme disease, very ill, broke, was unable to work, and I was able to use the oils to turn my health around.
Okay, so which is a profound story. High is that doTERRA came into her life and it's changed it. So you would start your story with, I'm going to just kind of paraphrase your story using this formula, but doTERRA has significantly changed. Several years ago, I was struggling with Lyme disease and I was extremely ill. And I was introduced to doTERRA by Erin, and it has helped me that entire disease. And now I can say that I can stand up, I can walk around, I have all the energy back, and now I'm excited to share this with all of you. So that was high, doTERRA changed her life. The low is where she was struggling with Lyme disease. The turnaround is how doTERRA came into her life. And then back to the high is I'm here to share this with you so that all of you can have the same experience in some format as I've had, some extreme, profound impact. So if you guys can write down that formula, and I want you to get your stories down to 2 minutes. So it cannot be more than 2 minutes. So does somebody have a story in this group that they can share with me? And we'll get it down to 2 minutes. Suzanne, go for it.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So mine is actually health. It is lifestyle. So my background is in corporate. I am a wife and a mother. And when I was introduced to doTERRA, I was a corporate middle manager executive working 60 to 70 hours a week and not quality time with family. We were introduced to the oils. We started to see significant changes in our health. I ended up leaving the corporate world and wasn't sure what I was going to do. And organically, what I found was that through our experience with the oils, my community was being drawn to this natural wellness. And now I am in a position where I am doing my doTERRA business full. And I am no longer commuting. I'm sitting here on my right now. I'm available to my husband, to my family, and much to my community. My health has improved. My just personal care has improved, and I'm grateful for all of that.
That was great. Thank you for jumping in. Oh, if we
some feedback. Some feedback.
So if we use that formula with your story, right, you just said at the very end that it has changed your entire life. You now no longer have to commute. You have winds in the background, and it's amazing. I feel like I'm in a meditation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll take those down so they're not.
Just kidding. So you've just told us that you have had a significant impact on your lifestyle. You now no longer have to commute. Your family's life has been impacted. So those are the things that are your high. That's where you are right now with Terrace. You would start with that. When you get or you get in front of a group or somebody says to you out in the community, why do you do doTERRA? Your first thing is doTERRA has dramatically changed my life. My family's life, my lifestyle is completely different. I have to commute. I love everything about what doTERRA has brought me. I used to work in the corporate world. I had this kind of style. I did all of these things. And when doTERRA brought into my life, that's when I was able to now have what I have now. So I'm so excited that you asked me about that, because I want to share this opportunity with you also if you're interested in that. So do you see how it goes from the high to the low? And then
Yes.
doTERRA has changed that?
Yes.
And I want
Thank you.
And how about one other person? Somebody bold.
I'll jump in. I'll be
Yay.
bold. I had something similar to Suzanne's, but I'm a different way, so it can work more educationally. So I was introduced to the oils as a response. Actually, Dr. Josie introduced me to the oils when I asked how I could help my mom was diagnosed with a terminal illness. And she had a profound effect the minute she started using the oils, and it kind of blew her mind. It blew my mind. And we really felt like it slowed down her process and gave her a better quality of life. And I also feel like it's part of a gift that my mother gave to me, because really working towards financial freedom. And not only do I use the oils and all the health products for my parents, my whole family's wellness, I'm like Suzanne, I'm going for more quality family and my kids, and it's giving me my life back.
That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks
so
for
this, of course, let's walk through that formula. So you just shared that this is something that has not only changed your family's health and wellness, but also it's allowing you to become more financially free, which is something that you've been really looking forward to. So that's your high right there, where you are right now. doTERRA has significantly impacted my family's life, my family's health and wellness, and it has allowed me to become more financially free. Before I found doTERRA, I was here, is what you would say there. And then I was introduced to doTERRA by a really good friend, Dr. Josie, in this situation. And it has allowed me to have all of those things. So I'm so excited that I get to share this opportunity with you, not only to help impact your family's health and wellness, but also allow you the opportunity to become financially free like I'm becoming. That
I love it, because I think that is the one area where everybody can relate. I think most people want financial freedom.
Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you, Haley.
Yeah. Okay, so that is going to be your homework. So when you come next week, everybody needs their story in that. On some random people next week to shout those out, and it's got to be 2 minutes or less. So time yourself so that you practice, because sometimes we ramble, we get excited, and we don't know how to keep it under 2 minutes. So, Leah, are you on the call? I would love for you to ask that question of how you got enrolled. Who introduced that to you?
Hi, I'm Leah. I'm probably the youngest here, and I'm probably also the only one from Germany. And I got enrolled because a very dear friend of mine and my life coach actually introduced me that it would be a great business opportunity and a way to make money next to college to work with these oils. And that's how I got to meet Aisha. And I just enrolled on Sunday. Today my products came. So I'm a total newbie and very excited to try the oils and also to be in this opportunity.
Great. I love that you just shared that, because you haven't necessarily had an experience with the products yet, right? You're brand new. So your story might start. Go ahead. Say that I interrupted you.
I just wanted to say I did get products from Aisha. She sent me a little introductory kit, but I was very limited, so I didn't have the entire product range to try. But I really love those oils, and my favorite is the wild orange one. I put that on my skin every day, and yeah, it is.
So what was your very first experience with the samples that
I had a very good experience. I think I started with putting the lemon drops into my water. And when I first smelled the wild oranges, I just loved citrusy, summery smells. And I got addicted to that. And I think my entire family was annoyed because I put that on in the car. Everything would smell of orange. Yeah.
That is great. So this is a really great opportunity for you to share. Maybe you tell me or if it doesn't, but if you are new and you've only tried samples, what I'm hearing from your story is if I was up in front of a class or sharing with somebody, why are you doing this? You might say, doTERRA given me that there's some natural things out of these products or those products, and I've now had a beautiful person who's introduced these oils to me, and I had tried and they made me feel amazing. So I don't know yet what's to come of it, but it's given me a huge hope that I can become financially free and have more natural health and wellness in my life. So I'm so excited that I can educate all of you about how you can have that exact same vision for natural health and wellness. How does that feel to you? Does that feel truthful or resonate with you in your experience?
It does. That way I don't have something that I don't know yet.
Yes.
I can just be authentic. So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So that's your homework. Everybody bring your stories next week. It's got to be 2 minutes or less, and you will be very randomly selected. Nobody's getting out of that one. So have that. And now I want to jump into how you share oils with other people. So like Leah's brand water products, she might not know yet when somebody asks her, what are these oils that you're using? We either, I'm in extremes, we're either super seasoned in the business and we shatter everybody's whole mind with everything that we know. We fire hose them with information. And that's because we're so excited about all of the products and what they can do. And somebody says they have a headache. Tell me if I'm crazy to say this. But somebody tells you they have a headache and you're like, peppermint. It can work for a headache and it can work for fever and it can work for energy and it can work for this. Wake you up. You can put it all over the place and get a diffuser and eyeballs are coming out of their whole face. It's so much information right off the bat. Or you're the other end of the spectrum and you don't know what to say. You maybe just got your box and somebody says, I have a headache, and you have no idea what the oil is for that. And so you maybe fumble over your words, or you say, well, I went to a class and I just got oil, really sure how to use it yet. So maybe you could come to a class sometime. I don't know. It's kind of awkward and you don't know what to do. So I'm going to give you guys some really basic scripting that's very permission based. So we want to ask people open to using oils or having natural solutions in their life. Because if somebody, do you ever list somebody trip balls and you should put oil on them? They're probably looking at, why are you trying to put this thing on me? I don't even know what that is. We want to ask permission always. So I'm going to give you some very basic scripting right now. If you guys want to write them out, so post it in the group, but it's always good to have your own handwriting, so I would encourage you to write it down. But your first question to someone is, are you open to trying something? The purpose of this question is, if somebody in your life has an experience in front of you, whether that's a kiddo you see scrapes their knee and normally for a Band-Aid, you might offer that to them, but now we're offering natural solutions. So we might want to walk up to them and say, are you finding something natural for that course after you ask them if they're okay? But that would be a question for somebody who's maybe not somebody you know very well, be a stranger in the park. So that's your first one. Or your second might be, are you open to natural forms of health and wellness? So if somebody tells you, gosh, I've been having headaches forever and I don't know what to do, I've been taking Aspirin every single day, you might say, well, it's something natural for that. Are you open to trying something natural for that? Because if they say no here, that's great information. You're wasting your time pushing something on. They've clearly given you a no. And if they say yes, that's where your second question will come in. So I'm going to give you your second question now. What essential oils is your second question? And this gives them the opportunity to share what they know about it, and it opens the door for you to share about it.
Hey, Lee, will you ask that second question again? You cut out.
Yes. What do you know about essential oils is your second question. So we have your first two questions are either, are you open to trying something natural for that? Or are you open to natural forms of health and wellness? Those are your two questions. If you get a yes there, they say yes to that, either of those two questions. Your next question will be, what do you know about essential oils? So some people might share they know nothing about it. Some people might share that they've had an experience with oils, but they don't really know a lot. Or somebody might share with you that they know everything else and they've had a terrible experience. And with patchouli is a thing that people have had an experience with. And so that's where you'll ask them, would you like to learn more about them? So it gives them the opportunity to share with you. It's very permission-based. So if I said to somebody, what do you know about essential oils? They might say, well, I've seen them at the food store, or my friends them. You might say, well, essential oils are something that could really support your body naturally, or actually could really help with that scrape on your kiddo. To learn more. So these are your scripts for sharing with anybody, and it works universally. So anytime you see somebody out in the community and you see an experience happen in front of you, or somebody is curious about oils, you can open with those questions. Everybody have that written down? Okay. Now it says, yes, I'm interested in learning more. 100%. I would love to know more about it. Here is what you are going to use as your script. So this is kind of a long one, so get your pens ready. This is what you're always going to do. You are going to schedule an appointment with them every single time. You're not going to dump them with information right then. Even if you feel like you want to, even if you feel like they have time for it, don't, because this is my best example. Lawyer out in the community, and you were looking for legal advice, and you said, hey, I'm really curious about to know about in the lawyer realm. Just started you with all of that information. You might think, I really was interested in that, but not right now, and I don't have 30 minutes for this, and I don't have anything to write with, and I'm not for this. What does the lawyer do when you say, I would love to learn about that? They would say, call my secretary and schedule an appointment, right? Every time. So you want to be able to schedule an appointment with them, and this because your time is full, their time is full, and you also want to be able to prepare. You don't want to feel like, oh my gosh, I really want to talk to you, but I don't know all this stuff. I just got my oils. I don't have all the information or education yet. I don't have the resources to look up information right with me. This saves you from all of that. So you're going to schedule an appointment every single time. So here's your script. What I usually do is set up a 30-minute appointment. We go over your health goals. I'll tell you a little bit about the company, or about doTERRA. And I will tell you about some of our most popular kits. Of course, you don't have to buy anything, but if you see something like, I will absolutely help you get it. So I will say it again for you. What I usually do is set up a 30-minute appointment. We will go over your health goals or concerns. I'll tell you a little bit about the company and some of our most popular kits. Of course, you don't have to buy it. If you see something you like, I will absolutely help you get it. And this scripting is perfect for There's no obligation, no commitment. It's just come and learn about solutions, goals, and concerns. So you're here to serve them. So did everybody get that, I'm hoping? Okay, so this is going to be all of those I just talked about. You're going to feel fully prepared by this meet with them. So if they say yes to this script, so, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the very last question. At the very end, you say, of course, there's no obligation, but if you see something you like, I'll absolutely help you get it. So you have a end. Here's your question. Would that be something you're interested in? Because typically what we do is sometimes I'm interested, say, well, you should come to my class. You should meet me, or we should talk about that. And it's kind of a little bit forceful, and it's a little bit, we're assuming that they want to do that when this is 100% permission based. Would that be something you're interested in? So that's your last question at the end of the script. And if they say yes to that, you're going to offer them 2 times, not 5, not 10 times, not my whole week is open next week. What time works for you? You're going to offer them 2 times. That might be Thursday and Friday at 1 o'clock work for you. That's not to say that if neither of those work, you don't give them another option and that's it for them, but always offer only 2 at a time. Because when somebody has options to work with or to choose from, they don't choose. They'll say, well, I'll get back to you. I'll figure that out. I'll look at my schedule. You want to schedule it right there. Let me grab my calendar. These are the 2 times I can work with you or I can meet. And then you schedule it.
Haley?
Yeah, Jess? Yep.
Can you go through the whole script one more time so people can be reading it, making mistakes? Great.
So what we'll say is, if somebody says yes to learning more, we're going to say, what I usually do is I set up a 30-minute appointment. We'll go over your health goals and concerns. I'll tell you a little bit about the company, and I'll share with you some of our most popular kits. Of course, you don't have to buy anything. Be something you're interested in. And this will become so natural that it just, so much you oil, no more. What I usually do, and you go right into your script every time. I'd love to share with you. What I usually do is I set up a 30-minute appointment. We go over your health and concerns. I'll tell a little bit, and I'll share with you some of our most popular kits. Of course, you don't have to buy anything, but if you see something you like, I will absolutely help you get it. Would that be something you're interested in? So use that all day long. It's very simple and it works for everything. So you can reframe that if he is wanting to know now, I really only have 5 minutes. I would love to just know what I can use for a headache. Steer away from giving all of your information out because you are a professional and your time is valuable. So you might say, well, there is an essential oil for peppermint's great for that. But what I usually do is I set up a 30-minute appointment and then you go into it. So you don't have to not answer their question, but always schedule an appointment. Give them those 2 times. So we'll do now actually do some role playing with you guys on how to use those in basic situations out in the community. You might run into people. So I'm gonna, Jewel, are you open to doing this with me?
Yes.
Okay. So I just ran into you at the park. We're walking. I want you to bring me in some format.
Okay, so you didn't like physically run into me.
The path. No, we just want to walk.
I'm not really sure unless the person's thinking about like, oh, I have allergies or just enough for that.
I love that you just posed that question. So most of the time it comes up in conversation, what do you do for work, right? Or what do you do? Any of those, just standard conversational things. Most of the time it always comes up too. What do you do? And so essential oils typically will come up in that conversation. And you can even bring it in if inquiring about what somebody else does for work. They're going to ask you this. And so essential oils usually come in there. Or you might even have an oil that you take out that you're using, and somebody asks a question about.
Oh, I have peppermint. And they'll say, what's for? It's like, I'm using this for energy.
I didn't know you could use peppermint for energy.
Yeah. And then I would say, well, I'm a runner and I carry it with me and use it for energy. You want to try it? Your question might be, what do you know about essential oils? Have you ever tried something natural for energy? Okay. Right? Those first two questions. Mm-hmm. So your first two questions, are you doing something natural for that? Or are you open to natural forms of health and wellness? Okay. So in this situation, right, it might be, have you ever tried something natural for energy? Mm-hmm. Have you ever tried anything natural for energy?
No, I drink coffee all day, all the time.
Well, but okay, I wouldn't know. This isn't also coffee, so I don't.
But I put so much cream, crazy.
Well, this is a natural, the oils are a natural way to get your energy without adding.
So I'm going to pause you real fast. Use that second question. What do you know about oils?
Okay, well, what do you know about essential oils?
I don't know a lot about them, just from smelling your peppermint. It smells, but I've never tried them for anything.
Oh, well, can I go into the first one then? I would love to set up a 30-minute appointment with you and go over. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. So what I usually do.
Okay, so what I usually do is set up a 30-minute appointment, and we can go over your health goals or any concerns you have and tell you a little bit about the company. Of course, you don't have to get anything, but if you find something you like, I can help you do that. Is that it?
One more question.
Would this be something you're interested in doing?
Yeah, I'd be really interested in not drinking all that creamer all day long in my coffee. So please, yes.
Okay, great. Let me look at my schedule. I have 2 times this week. If Monday at 1 or Wednesday at 7 would.
Let's do Wednesday at 7.
Okay. I can come to your place, or would you prefer to come to mine?
I actually live in California, so I'm actually only here for a day.
Okay. I have a little thing called Zoom where we could do it live online, and I can send you a link to that, and you can see me just like, face to face, and I can go through everything with you.
That would be amazing.
Great.
See how that works? You can go back and forth between those 2 questions consistently if you need to until you get to, are you open to learning more? And then you go to what do you usually do? What you usually do. Okay, Rachel, coming to you, sister.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. So what do you do during the day? Do you work out? Do you do different things?
I work.
What do you do for work?
I'm a massage therapist.
Okay. I'm coming in for massage.
Okay.
And I just walked in and your room smells amazing. Of course, because so it's my first getting a massage. I've never had one before.
Okay, so normally I ask
Rachel, your room smells amazing. What is that?
Thank you. It's essential oils that I use. You have to have me use some on you today?
Yeah, maybe. What are they?
You've never experienced essential oils before?
No, I heard you're really sensitive on your skin, and I'm not sure.
Well, I don't have time to explain today all the great qualities of the oils, but if you're open to learning more, we could set up another time to talk about that.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
Great. So what I usually do is just set up a 30-minute, and we can go over some of your specific health goals or concerns, and I'll tell you a little bit about the oils and about the company that I use and some of the most popular kits. And there's no obligation to buy anything, but if you see something you like, I can help you with that. Does that sound something you're interested in?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So here are available times.
Perfect. Do you see how you can just reframe it and move out of anything like that? Or you can also, in that situation, validate them. So I've had an experience or I heard something weird about them. I might say, yeah, some people have concerns like that. But there are definite ways that you can avoid skin sensitivity. But what I usually do is set up a 30-minute appointment. So you don't have to know anything about it. You just have to validate it and schedule your appointment.
Great.
Because people, what happens is most of the time if somebody comes at you with a situation where they've had a bad experience with an oil or any of that, our response, you ever feel defensiveness come up in your body? 'Cause we're like, not doTERRA, that would never happen with them. But we can't miss their experience. So they've had ever essential oil they've tried. So we do want to validate that for them and then just tell them why we choose doTERRA. And then we move into our appointment. So it's really good to do that. And I did see it here.
Great.
So what do we do if they say no? Okay, thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank you.
So if somebody says no to you, no, I'm interested in that, I always say, no worries. If you ever did or you want to learn more about them, I'm happy to share with you. So just let me know if you ever become interested or change your mind. And most of the time, people are looking in that situation for you to convince them why they should have an appointment with you. So that they have a reason to push back against you. So if you have somebody say no and you say, oh, no problem, I would love to help you if you ever become interested, just let me know. They're like, try to convince me. And most of the time they change their mind. So Leah asked, if you're spending the day together and they asked me to do the class spontaneously on the spot, and you have to get a personal call, but I always steer away from that. And here's why. You want this to be duplicable. So for some reason, they want to in this business opportunity. They might now learn that if they're ever meeting with somebody and they might have time, they're going to stop what they're doing to teach us right there. So we want it to be, we're always duping. So if it's not something that anyone can do, I would steer away from it. But that's a great question. I feel like if there's a can work it out, then maybe do that. But I always steer away from doing spontaneity things like that on the fly. Because you might have things that you're not prepared for. And you're also teaching them that you'll just drop what you teach the class right there. And Aisha or Josie might have different advice on that part, but that's mine. So I'm going to go ahead, Aisha.
I'll just hop in. I agree, and I also think that it's very circumstantial. And if you felt strongly that the time was good, what you could say is, this is not normally how I proceed, but I am going to make an exception because I would love to move forward because it seems like the time is right, to let them know that you normally set up an appointment and do it that way, but you're going to make an exception so they know that you're taking this time and you're giving them an exception.
Awesome. Yes. Go ahead, Jess.
Wanted to reiterate, reframe what you said about the, if someone says to you, yeah, I had a bad experience with the oils, right? A lot of times when we get negative feedback, that we can shut down or right, get defensive. You talked about. So I love that simple formula. Validate their experience. Tell them that you can ways to be safe. And what I usually do is set up a 30-minute appointment. So it's just like, yes, I know that is possible and that can happen, but I can show you ways to be safe with the essential oils. What was set up a 30-minute appointment, right? So it's that formula that you said, validate their experience, tell them that you can show them how to be safe, set up the appointment.
Yeah.
I think it's hard for people to get that, right? Like negative experience back at them.
Yes, and that happens all the time. So just be willing to just validate them. We don't have to have the reason to for them right then, but we can really do that. Okay, I'm going to have 2 people role play. I'm going to have Diane, because you're amazing at this. You're going to be I'm going to have Claudia. Are you open to play along? Okay, so you'll just have to unmute yourself. Diane, you're going to role play with Claudia.
Okay. Find Claudia on my little screen here. I have a face. Where is she? Where are you? Say hi. Hi, I see you now. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So 2 of you are out to coffee together, and you met when we're out in yoga class. You decided you're just going to hang out and get together for coffee, but you don't know a lot about each other yet.
Which row?
Okay, Clara, the presenting the oils.
Okay. Okay, where's my, oh, there's Diane. Hey, Diane.
Hi.
Hey, I'm so glad you had time to meet coffee. I love the yoga class we're in, and I want to just learn a little bit more about you.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it was a great class.
So what do you do for work?
I am an acupuncturist.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get acupuncture, and I love natural health. How about
actress? So it's one of the things that brought me to, learn to become an acupuncturist is I wanted to learn more about natural working with health. And
so do you ever use essential oils in your practice?
No, not really. I don't really, they're not something that really have inspired me in the past. I just think they're something weird that smells pretty.
Are you interested in learning more about essential oils?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I would love to do that with you. I usually set a 30-minute appointment, and we go over any health goals that you have. Mm-hmm. You learn a little bit about the company, and I explain about some of the most popular kits that we have. Of course, you're under no obligation to buy anything, but if you found something you like, be happy to help you get that. Does that sound like something you'd like to do?
Yeah, I think that would be something I've been hearing a lot of buzz about it, so I'd be interested in doing with you.
That'd be awesome. Well, I have Wednesday at 5 o'clock, or I have Thursday morning at 9. Would either of those times work for you?
Yeah, Thursday morning would be great.
Wonderful. Would you want to meet here at the same location, or you could come to my house, or I could go to yours?
Let's meet here. I love coffee shops.
Me too.
Guys, that was super good.
Cool.
And so, Claudia, the only feedback I was going to give you that would be helpful too is if you don't really know each other and you're asking her if she wants to learn more, you might for that say people about essential oils so that they have some premise.
So I felt there was a disconnect between the first question and then are you obviously I said I was interested in natural solutions. What do you know? I said I didn't really know much, and then it felt like there was a little weird transition.
Exactly. So right there,
I needed one more thing.
So if you said I am interested in learning more about it, Claudia, you might say, well, I actually educate about how to use essential oils. But what I usually do, set up a 30-minute appointment. So they now know that you have a background, you have some, history with essential oils, and that's what you do. Right. And so now they're, of course, willing to schedule with you.
Right.
So that might be part of your questioning.
Yeah. And that I wasn't sure how to do that, but I was sure eager to get the question.
Yeah. So it's good. So say you have some about essential oils, you sell essential oils, and you show people how to use them for their health goals and concerns. So that can be another, either educate about essential oils, or I sell essential oils and I educate people about their health goals. So what I usually do is I set up a 30-minute appointment and we go over your health goals and concerns. Then you go into your scripting. Does that feel good?
Yeah, that sounds great. And I knew there was a little herky-jerkiness to it. Actually, just in the interest of getting to experience everything, Diane, you could, again with whomever, but feel free to say, wait a minute, And that way, that would give me one of those awkward moments to go, oh yeah, I missed something there. Let me see what I can, let me back up for a minute.
Yeah.
That would be really helpful to be completely honest, because I saw it in your face, but then you let me lead you anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But that was really great because we were able to look at it, step back and look at it. And so the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes, and you just fall into it when you're having a conversation with someone.
Right.
I think one of the things that I want to interject that made me this experience you think of is like, don't get really comfortable with the thing, but don't feel so robotic about it. And like I said, really work with it that works for you and in the specific situation.
For sure. It's like for back to written notes, but it has to come out natural.
So I'll tell you, so next week when I make you guys do a role play, the more you read it off your paper, it always feels scripted when you read the paper. Always. Let it feel scripted while you're reading off the paper, because when you are now out in the community, you'll just remember it and it will come out of you so natural because you don't have the crutch to lean on. Be okay that it feels weird and awkward first because you're just learning what it is.
Okay.
So once you get the languaging down and the words down, it will feel very natural to you. Participate in that. So Aisha, you had said you wanted to address a question.
Yes, we have a question from Brian, and we also have a question from Suzanne. Did you read those?
I see the question, Brian. Do you want to answer that one?
Sure. So the question is, what if they have said yes, but they are using a different company like Young Living, for example? I think this is a fantastic question because this does come up for people, and Josie and Haley, I would love to hear your input as well. As we know, sometimes there can be strong opinions about Young Living versus doTERRA, so that may or may not come up, but we shouldn't assume that there are strong opinions either. So the first way that I would address this question is say, that's fantastic that you're already using essential oils. Would you like to learn more about doTERRA? And I would just simply start with that and see where that takes you. If they say, yeah, sure, that would be great, then I would move forward with saying what I typically do is setting up an appointment, et cetera, et cetera. If they give you any flack about that and have a strong opinion, one thing that I've done is to say, well, I personally, what I say is I used to use Young Living and they were a great company, but I really have fallen in love with doTERRA. And if you'd like to get together and compare oils side by side so you can compare the products, I'd be happy to set up a 30-minute appointment to do that. So you could either take that conversation in either direction depending on the person that you're talking to. And Jose and Haley, again, would love to hear your input on that.
Yeah. So very, very similar things. For me, I actually get really excited when somebody's using essential oils, even if it's somebody else. So when they say to me, yeah, I'm super interested in learning more, I'm in Young Living right now. I'm like, I love that you're using oils. I choose to use doTERRA because of, so I don't really ever go into the strong part. I just talk about why I choose to use doTERRA. And then I go into what I typically do is I schedule a 30-minute appointment. And then we can go over your health goals and concerns. And I'll tell you a little bit more about doTERRA and why I choose to use them. And then I'll offer some most popular kits and go into them. So I choose doTERRA. I don't know their background or why they've chosen, or maybe it's just the first thing that came to them and they might be open. But I stick to just why I choose to use them. What do you got, Joe?
Nothing else to add. That's great. You guys, I think those those are great responses. That's exactly, and I guess the one thing people could is to decide one to two very short they say about why, like why I choose doTERRA. I choose doTERRA.
Yeah, great.
I mean, with the doctor thing, I sometimes the box with that kind of heavy-handed, I work with doTERRA because I found it to be absolutely the most therapeutically, work the best, be the most therapeutic oil on the market.
Was that helpful, Aisha?
What's that?
This is Tracy. I would give it a lot of airtime personally. I mean, I've heard a response like Young Living, I use Young Living's great, but doTERRA's better. And then maybe move from there. Keep it simple.
Thanks, Trace. Okay, so I hope that was helpful for your question.
Yes, we also have one more question. Go ahead.
The way that I usually respond is just, if you're familiar with Young Living's, I'd be so curious of what you think about doTERRA compare. I'd love your feedback. The other oil company for that matter, and it's actually worked in my favor where they've come back and said, whoa, doTERRA oils rock. I actually really like them a lot better.
Yeah.
Or there's a lot of reasons why people really love doTERRA. But it's that openness of, I totally respect your opinion too. Let's share, let's discuss.
Yes, I love that. Being open to hear that, avoiding the defensiveness. That was really great, Ariane. And go ahead, Aish, there was one more question.
Yeah, there's another question from Suzanne, and she said, I am curious about nourishing your network before introducing oils. So Suzanne, I believe what you're asking, and you're welcome to hop online here if you want to say a little bit more. And I'm assuming you're wondering about connecting with people, building relationship before introducing what you do. Is that correct?
Yes, I was just thinking about the coffee shop scenario with someone that I'm in my yoga class, but I don't know them very well. And I'm curious how, I think that the train of thought is we should always be open to introducing someone, inviting them to take a look. Yes, my thought is would be fit in nourishing that first. But then I'm okay, so I'm stumbling over my words because as I'm saying these things, I'm also thinking, well, of course not, because I want to reach out. So I guess where does nourishing your network come into play? That's the question.
Yeah, that was a great question. So Ian, I think always nourishing your network is important. So that you have something super valuable that can really help change their lives. And when I'm introducing it to someone, I'm thinking there's no way I'm not going to share this with you because I know the benefits of it and I know how valuable it is and I can help you or change your life in some way or offer you something that's amazing. And I wouldn't want to keep that a secret. And so when I share, that is where I'm coming from. It's 100% from service. If I had this amazing thing, there's no way I'm going to keep that on lockdown. But I think it's important to keep nourishing your network and do all of that. Did you have something else to add, Aish?
No, I think that's perfect. I think that, of course, we need to trust our intuition and have the conversation organically when it's natural and ready to come up. So you wouldn't just run up to people and start saying this to them without having an organic conversation. So I think all of you know, and to trust yourself and to trust the flow of the conversation. And what I love about this scripting is that so many of us don't know what to say when somebody asks us, one, what we do, or how to guide somebody from talking to them to actually taking them to an appointment to have a meeting about essential oils. So I think this acts as a perfect segue to make that happen. And then from there, you trust the right time to say it and introduce it. But I know that people have used a script from meeting somebody in a grocery store or somebody they've just met and the topic of oils come up. I actually met a woman at a party a couple of months ago and we had a great connection and she was showing interest in the oils. And I said, what I normally do And we got out our phones and we made an appointment, and she's since enrolled, is on Loyalty Rewards, and loves the product. So it's just that when the time is right, you know when to implement the script, and it works.
Love that. Thank you for that. And then Diane, one more question about, do you ever use this script to invite to a class? And if I have a class on the books, I might say that. What I usually do is I invite people to educational workshops that I hold. I have one coming up. If they, but I find that most of the time people will come to a one-on-one all the time, hands down. If you have, this is also really great for new people who are not yet ready to have a class. So we're seasoned and we might say, this is amazing. I teach workshops, I'll to have you come to one. And this is what it looks like. But for those of you who are brand new, you haven't yet taught a class, you haven't yet seen a class, or you've only been, one-on-ones are really way to start getting that conversation going. That's helpful. So for your guys' homework, then I want to give that to you. I'm going to review it. You're going to bring your 2-minute story and have it under 2 minutes using that formula. And you're also going to schedule 2 one-on-ones at least this week using this script. And then you will post in the Facebook group the times and the days that you have your 2 one-on-ones scheduled for those times. And then 6 of it, Aisha sharing the scripts in the group under the files section. So you'll have a running document to access all of these. And we keep that stuff in there for you to have living for, so that you have to look in and you can use them with your team.
And to add to that, we also want you to go through your names list and rate the people on the list with those qualities of a diamond, and to narrow down another list that is the people that rate between the 5 and the 7. Sorry, my dog is having something to say about that as well.
Perfect. So 3 homework assignments. You have your names list to go through and categorize. You have your hero. You're going to have minutes or less in that formula. You're going to have 2 one-on-ones. So I'm super grateful that all of you showed up this week, and we'll have some more role playing and learn how to do one-on-one that you're going to schedule this week. So thank you, everybody, and thank you, Aisha and Josie, for collaborating. We're all so excited to bring this, that it's helpful and allows you to duplicate your team.
Absolutely. We're wrapping up a few minutes early, and Gina, I see there's a question from you. So before we end, I just want to see if there are any last questions. And to answer your question, Gina, if you are doing fast track, do we do more than 2 this week? Absolutely. You guys can do as many as you want. So we're asking that you do a minimum of 2. But by all means, if you're on fire and you want to get your business going, you can do as many as you're capable of doing. And I just want to see, is there anybody else that has questions? Does everybody feel confident? And I recommend just reading the script, saying it out loud, making it so it just really becomes so natural for it to flow out of your mouth effortlessly. So that way, when you're in that moment, you have it right there, ready to go.
Yes. So people who are wanting to do the fast track, we'll have separate conversations, because it's really a planning with your upline about that jumpstart week with the classes, whether you want that in the end of September or whether you want to start having that whole process happen in October. Because when you do 4 classes in 1 week with your upline, you want to be methodical in that, and you need to be having to go over sampling next week. You want to have a week to 2 weeks to sample, and you also need to be working together line, and you want to be thinking about the month at which all of that activity is going to be working towards. So people who want to be doing that can be individually in conversations. Okay.
I do have a question. It's Carissa. I had to drop off. My computer died. But so I just have a question. It's only one. I don't really know if we're going to go over that next week, or it sounds like sampling is next week. Does that make sense? So if I schedule my one-on-one, like, I guess I don't really know the format, how that looks yet.
Yes. So did we lose Haley? She might have had to, did she have to jump off? So covering the one-on-one, Haley, do you want to? Here, covering the actual one-on-one appointment as well as sampling and inviting next week.
Sorry, I got booted off of the call.
I know. So the question was someone saying, wait, if I schedule these one-on-ones, I don't know how to do a one-on-one. So yes, that is happening next week.
Yes.
Okay. So schedule them later this month. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so schedule for time after next week.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes. So let's just say that again. It was a little crackly. If you do not know how to do your one-on-one and you're brand new, then schedule them out so we will have time to review that before you do them. So all we're asking you to do, especially if you're new, is to get them scheduled. If you have been doing this for a while and you know what to do, you can move forward with the meeting. But otherwise, if you're new, just get them scheduled.
Perfect.
Okay, so since we have a question. One from Jewel asking, when we do start sharing, when do we start sharing what are we learning with our builders? So I think that's pretty much right away, or some of us are going to be starting to plan a program like with our own builder. Want to give it maybe weeks of getting into this program and getting and practicing yourself and having a week or two ahead of your builders, but as well the things if you want to start showing that and working with them, that's duplication.
Yeah, and let's talk about that just for a moment, because in this group we have people that are brand new and we have leaders in this group, and so this training, you might look at it through different eyes depending on where you're at. And if you're a leader in this group, the format that we're taking you through is something that you can then begin to duplicate with your own team, as Josie just said. I know I have some leaders that are going to start doing this with their teams right after convention. It's really your personal preference as to when you want to take a smaller group through that, but you can basically set up this format the same way, start using the scripts and role playing with your people. And the reason we love the role playing is that part of growth in this business is getting uncomfortable. Everything we want is just outside of our comfort zone. And oftentimes what shuts us down from moving forward is our awkwardness, getting uncomfortable, not knowing what to say. And so being willing to get uncomfortable in this group, going through the role playing, going through these practice sessions is going to hopefully give you all the confidence in, one, how to go and more efficiently build your business, and two, if you have even one person underneath you, it doesn't matter how large or small your team is, you are learning something that you can then teach anybody who joins your organization and wants to start building. So even if you are new, one day these are steps that you are going to begin to teach people in your organization. And then there's also a question from Melanie. You're asking, I'm curious about sampling people to invite to classes who are remote, inviting people to the 4 classes who are out of my area. I believe we're going to talk about sampling more in detail next week. Isn't that correct, Haley?
Yes, how to effectively sample and how to do a one-on-one will be next week. Great.
Melanie, do you need to know more about that right now, or can you wait until next week?
I can wait next week. I'm curious about classes and how best to do that when most of my rated people out of town. But yeah.
Okay. Yes, we have some we'll be talking about that. Okay.
Great. Anything else? This has been a great first class. It's so just warms my heart to connect with all of you and to see all of your faces and to go through this process with you. I'm really excited about these next 6 weeks. Please mark your calendar and do everything you can to join us live. I really think you'll get the most out of this call by, being called to role play, to be here live, to be interactive. And then again, do please keep an eye on the Facebook page for more information for the call recordings, etc. And again, if you've not checked in on the pin post at the top of the page, if you're on a phone or an iPad, you'll need to look at View Pin Post and just chime in and tell us something fun and wacky about yourself so we can all get to know each other better. Okay, anything else that Jose or Kate want to add?
I just want to say that's if the special mark your calendar for we are going to be out on Wednesday, the first Wednesday, September the 6th. That's a no week. And then that's doTERRA convention. Halloween, September 13th is when we're going to be doing the 3-hour class, starting still at noon, but going until. Just wanted to remind. Thank you, everyone. This is
perfect. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Have a great day, you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.